Queen Talendia Edisseril has tasked our heroes with negotiating a treaty on behalf of Kionin with the other nations surrounding Lake Encarthan. All the nations have sent trusted, but lower-profile delegates to the council to avoid attracting attention from Tar Bathon. The first 4 days of negotiating have gone well, with the heroes convincing all but one of the nations to sign the majority of the treaties. Multhrun is refusing to sign Article 1 because they refuse to accept the breakaway state of Nirmathos and will continue their efforts to reclaim that land. Druma, Lastwall, Nirmathost, and Razmirin have all come to accords despite some initial reluctance. Ustalav is the final unknown, as the heroes head to a party being hosted by its delegate, Clarence Ordrati. Clarence was lightly offended that the heroes saved him for last, but promises of additional entertainment for his party, as provided by Libbiel, has tempered his feelings. The heroes are on their way to his party, having just finished exploring Green Gold's Founders Legacy Festival.
Vanarel, did you pick out your outfit?
Oh, I decided to stick with this nice fancy suit.
Yeah, I figured I'd go with something fancy. I hope Libbiel doesn't have too much planned. I don't want to get stains on my nice traveler's gown, that fancy traveler's gown.
I wasn't sure what one is supposed to wear to an Ustalavic party anyway.
Pretty sure.
Does
Like
Dezi
collar,
know?
something around the neck.
Banner will just adjust his scarf then, get a little bit closer to the neck.
So
Daegron will start heading towards the entrance. He's also wearing his fancier clothes. He doesn't have anything else besides armor.
So as you arrive at the Ustalavic mansion that's being used for the party, back in the main area that you've been staying for the past 4 days, the doors are wide open, the sounds of laughter and music can be heard from within. A single servant at the door offers you goblets of red wine as you enter. Inside you find Clarence at the center of the party, drinking and talking with various retainers and guests, which you recognize as staff members from Druma, Multhrun, and Razmirin. And as he spots you, "Oh, your attention please, everyone here. The promised entertainment of the evening has arrived. Please, raise a glass and feast your eyes on the heroes of Green Gold." And he looks at the 4 of you expectantly.
To our gracious host, we look forward to a strong and powerful and amusing alliance with you. And I will take a drink.
Okay. And
Flagons here for this.
yep. What do Daegron and Vanarel do?
Let's see. Is there Vanarel, is there anything we can do? You good at juggling or anything?
I suppose I could. I've seen how it works. I know how it works. Although right now I think Venerable will just will grab one of the glasses of wine, the goblet of wine off of a passing servant's tray, and just we'll toast Clevance to our gracious host. Let the games begin.
And with that, Libbiel will begin her planned activities. Libbiel could not make it tonight. I will be filling in as best I can. And her plan was to use an extreme number of castings of Hypnotize to cause most of the random assortment of the spectators to think they are various kinds of animals, and use that to entertain everyone here. So I'm not going to bother with will saves for them. Libbiel is much high enough level that in most of these are commoners. They are not leveled people. This is going to be successful. I will roll a performance check to see how well she can direct them to do things. Let's say average roll. You can tell that Clavance is enjoying this. but you think most of the rest of the party guests are thinking this entertainment might be in a little bit of poor taste. I think actually Libbiel might spend a hero point on this, so I'm going to do that. And no better. So same results there. Clarence is chuckling, but what do you want to do with the rest of the guests, the three of you? You have a chance to try to do something here.
Seems like we should smooth this over a little bit.
Oh, Daegron knows how to lift things. He's going to go over to maybe some of the groups that are less impressed with Libbiel's things and see if he can distract him. He kind of like pulls a bench over and he says to him, he goes, "Hey, okay, now clearly you don't enjoy the higher class entertainments that seem to be happening here. How about some little friendly wagers? And I think he'll wager inconsequential amounts of money to him, like a copper, things like that. He's going to see if he can get people to load up this bench with as much stuff as they can, or people, and he's going to see how if he can lift it over his head, basically. We'll
Okay,
do some feats of strength and try to entertain some people.
sure. Give me your athletics roll. Actually, first give me a diplomacy or
Sure.
intimidate to rustle everyone onto the bench.
Oh, let's go with intimidate. Yeah, this will be fun.
Oh yeah,
30.
yeah. You've got a good crowd on there. You're actually a little worried that you might have oversold yourself here.
He is not worried in the slightest. Underneath his clothing, he also has he has his lifting belt.
Okay.
So he's going to roll, and if he feels himself starting to waver a little bit, he's going to activate this to basically give him the boost he needs to try to lift this higher. But let's go for au naturel to start. Oh, well, that's not the greatest. Let's re-roll it just for fun.
Oh yeah.
30.
Okay. With that hero point, you managed to distract a fair portion of the audience from the the maybe slightly lower brow entertainment that they weren't expecting here from Libbiel's exercises.
That's not what Dezi expected. Dezi kind of thought we would maybe talk to some of these people, not, start lifting them over our heads or lifting their money over our heads. So I think Dezi will make the rounds and try to, basically through chatter, distract a little bit from maybe something that they consider lower brow. So I'm going to try a diplomacy check.
You can tell that you don't have your silver tongue tonight.
Okay, it's not a critical fail, I don't think, so I'll leave it as is.
And Vanarel, how are you contributing here?
Well, I was going to actually branch off of what the crowd's general reaction was. I was going to go over and speak with the ones that seemed the most perturbed, the most off put by the animal antics we just tried there. So not only just to try and maybe smooth things over, make a formal introduction since we are the hosts, so to speak, are representing the city that this whole meeting is taking place in. But also try to get a read on what they think about Clavance. Just sort of smooth talk my way into maybe getting a little bit of info on our party host here.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
You're definitely quite the conversationalist tonight. You're making people laugh, and they're sharing funny tales back and forth, and you can tell that you've smoothed over the minor faux pas of enchanting all of them. The some of them do lean in to share little tidbits with you about Clavance, and uh, I think you come away with two little bits. One is, whatever you do, don't accuse him of being a vampire. He hates that. And and you hear from someone else. Also, I don't know what he's drinking, He doesn't offer it to anyone else. I wouldn't try to grab his wine glass, though.
Got it.
So it's a faux pas to state out loud you're a vampire. To be held in secret, sounds like.
You can give me a society check on that.
I'm guessing he just doesn't want it to be known until he's ready to make it known.
Your impression, Dezi, is that while there may be Dampiers or various undead sorcerer bloodlines in Ustalav, the rulership is known for not being vampires, and he is a member of that family. So either it'd be a scandal if he is, or it's an act he's putting on. Because
Okay,
he thinks
gotcha.
because he thinks it's amusing, but then gets angry if called on it. Which of these it is, you don't really know, but you would know that within Ustalav, it would seem to be unlikely for him to actually be a vampire.
So he could be putting on all the makeup and stuff in theory to make everyone think he was a vampire, which I think was my original theory. So that's pretty impressive.
How much time do the four of you spend circulating and entertaining the guest, would you say, out of your 2 hours chances to meet with him? Sorry, 4 hours of the chance to meet with him.
I just wanted to smooth things over. Our job here is to get Ustalav on board. So I will move over to them after a quick, say 30 minutes pass to kind of chat with people.
Yeah, I think Daegron would probably spend a decent amount of time, at least an hour and a half. I think he would maybe forget a little bit about what they were here to do and enjoying the atmosphere.
Yeah, Vanarel's pretty much doing the same, though I think with how well it's going, he might spend a little longer than he was expecting with the crowd, with the people who are here at the party. Time might get away from him a little bit. He may come by and speak with Clevance half an hour, 45 minutes or so later.
Okay. So about let's say 45 minutes to an hour goes by before the four of you congregate back around Clavance. And what would you start saying to him?
I mean, I think Dezi wants to kind of feel Clavance out to see what sort of things he's interested in. I'll do this via making some small talk and kind of observing him.
Okay. And so you're going for discovery, I assume, for the influence type aspect. Do you want to learn skills or the resistances, weaknesses type of aspects?
I feel as if we got some good information from the crowd, so I think I want skills specifically because I don't think we know anything about kind of his
Okay.
areas of interest.
I will put us over on the other map now that has all of the details. And I guess I'll close away some of our other artwork I was sharing. So you're trying to spot, you can tell that he likes being entertained. He is still barely paying attention to the four of you. He seems much more entertained by watching what's going on below. And you think that anytime you want to influence him, you are going to have to kind of get his attention back, probably with performance or diplomacy, to get him to focus on the discussion at hand rather than the party around. He seems very distractible and very much not into what is going on. But as mentioned before, it does feel like he is quite intelligent and likely has opinions on what's going on in the different factions, and he just can't be bothered. You do know that heraldry lore, really focusing on talking up the history of his house more than anything else, or society, to compliment him on the party and his attire and the entertainment, are going to influence him to like you. Whether or not that has any effect on the treaties, who really knows? But at least making him like you, that would work.
these are rough skills for me.
Could try more discovery if you want.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I at least got a decent perception. Um, yeah, I think as Daegron, as Dezi's kind of finishing up with Daegron, it kind of cuts in afterwards. So this is a wonderful party. But what is it? What is it you want from this pact of sorts that we're trying to sign here? I can see that you're a man of class and you're clearly very intelligent. I just wish to know what Ustalov wants from this, and he'll do a perception check as he gets his answer to see if he can kind of get more on him here, and if there's any other ways to I should say any tactics to take because I think Dezi revealed the check.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
That is a success. There are still more skills you could learn, but if you want to learn conversation tactics, that's also fine. What would you like to learn from this?
I want to find out like what other tactics he play well with him besides just wanting to be entertained because I think that's well maybe his main goal is fairly simple. There's got to be something else that he's interested in or wants.
Yeah, so from what you're watching of him, you can tell he might be a little insecure. He is a rather young noble. You've heard that while he is technically in line to the throne, about half of the country would have to have been eliminated for him to be actually on the throne. It feels like he's been raised as a unneeded noble, and this might have been one posting to try to see if he can do anything good. So any forms of flattery or compliments are likely to go over very well. You can tell he expects them, but you may have noticed he doesn't always receive them.
He's got something. I've got something in mind then for the next time my round comes around for this.
Vanarel?
Hey, butter him up is what I got from Daegron's attempt there. So I would like to speak with Clevance directly here, but you did say he needs to have his attention drawn to the person speaking with him. So I would like to approach him. If it sounded like he was like up on a balcony, sort of overlooking the people on a lower level. Is that
Yes.
okay? Excellent. So I would like to approach him from the lower level, not exactly up the stairs in a more traditional manner. Maybe just a couple of hops up onto the banister, cutting a corner with a little bit of maybe like acrobatics to arrive with flair and panache.
Sure.
Would this one be open or not? I'm
Yeah,
not sure how
this can
I'm.
be open.
Okay. So we'll all know if I fall on my face.
You don't fall on your face, but you don't do it gracefully with that roll.
Ah, scarf got in the face. We'll just we'll pull that down quickly. Why, hello.
That's not the usual way one ascends the stairs. Is that what they teach for manners back where you're from?
Well, let's just say I like to keep things interesting whenever I can. We'll try perhaps a lower level of buffoonery later.
I see that your group is interesting in their choices of entertainment. I definitely enjoyed the show, though I feel you may have lessened your own standing among many of the guests here.
Well, there's still plenty of time left yet. I hope to correct and raise our reputation then. But I must say, as you've been hosting these parties nearly every night. Is that right?
Of course. What else is there to do here?
Oh.
We're in the land of the elves with wonderful wine and cheeses.
Well, you're certainly not wrong there. I think you've seized every perfect opportunity. This is a fantastic party, and I am sorry that I have not attended more of these. I think this is wonderful what you put together here. I think you must have a bright future ahead of you.
Are you trying a diplomacy or a deception there?
I'm attempting the diplomacy.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll for that.
Yeah, I suppose I don't fully believe it. I am trying to butter him up pretty badly.
It
Well,
depends
they're the
how
same
much
number.
depends how much you mean. Yeah, but they may have different DCs, but it depends how much you mean it.
Right. I was not trying to lie to his face
Okay. So I'll take
and do
diplomacy for
anything
that.
backhanded. All right. And this one is private, yes?
Yes. Actually, influence can be public. Discovery is the one that should be private.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Had it backwards.
That is a success. And that will put him to 6 points, which is an important threshold. At 6 points, he actually pays attention to you now. You no longer need to make those checks to entertain him before each influence attempt. So he is paying enough attention. He thinks you're at least worthy of respect. And he would agree to buy from Druma if their markup is 10% or less, which it's currently not. I believe it's at it's at 25%. So Article 2, I'm not going to put the yes, the yellow yes, but we'll wait and see if it changes. And he is more protesting over that markup on wine and cheese than anything else. He doesn't seem to care about the military goods, but he wants to make sure he has good party food.
Priorities.
And we have Libbiel to go this round. And let me see what I think Libbiel, or if you want to propose what Libbiel would do, the three of you, I'd rather that than myself trying to come up with what she would do in this case.
I feel like she'd either go for society or diplomacy here. I mean, we know diplomacy normally works on influences, and I think she is also good at society, if I remember correctly.
Her society is a little bit better than her diplomacy. So I think she would go for that. And that would mainly be complimenting him, the party, maybe saying how much better the party was than her own little trick, and maybe apologizing that it didn't quite land the way she had envisioned it, but something along that flavor I think is what she would try. So here's her roll.
It was a better idea in the planning stage.
And that will be a success. He seems mollified to that she tried and that it was inventive and willing to deprecate or turn the people against her to some level while still entertaining the rest. And a worthy try. Maybe not quite what I was expecting from you, but a valiant effort nonetheless. And we'll be starting into the second round with him. And how would you like to handle this one?
Dezi will jump to the topic of of his homeland and his ranking and how he seems knowledgeable of what's going on in Ustalov, and I'm curious about his takes on all the political factions and how they might view this war. So aiming for society and kind of trying to compliment him a bit on his knowledge of Ustalov and politics and whatnot.
Sounds good. That is going to just make it with the buttering him up some along the way on that. And well, as I've been saying, if we can get that if we can get the surcharge down, we definitely could see reason to join the mutual aid portion of this alliance. We do need our food for festivities, for keeping both the nobles and the commoners happy. In times of war, it is important to keep the basic foods flowing, or you'll have a rebellion on hands before you know it. However, we are very uninterested in drawing the Whispering Tyrant's ire. As you know, centuries ago he conquered parts of Ustalav. Those scars still run deep. Article 3, very tough sell for us in Ustalav. He'll have to convince me more that we have a chance, rather than just Ustalav being the first to fall yet again.
I certainly understand your concerns in this matter.
That's good then. You ended in a place where Daegron was looking to pick up from anyway. So as you kind of talked about that, he cuts in and says, "Well, Levance, we've had pretty much everyone else has signed on for Article 3 and Article 4. Ustalav will not be alone if anything happens here. Just think about it. An alliance like this is the best chance we'll ever have, and well, the one who negotiated the deal for Ustalav would surely go down in history." He'll try to do a diplomacy check, just buttering him up even more and try to influence him. Let's read.
That is a failure right now. Yep.
There we
That
go.
is
30.
a success. He is listening. You make some good points of having already convinced the rest of the delegates here. I am very surprised that you have been so successful. But I am not yet sure. What else do you have to entice me with? How will this
Well,
benefit Ustalav?
Well, if I may, with this alliance in place, and of course with you being a significant portion of that, your country being a significant portion of that, I think this may reflect well not only on Ustalav when they see all the support that they have from the surrounding region, but Clevance, this may also reflect quite well on you as well. I think this could help you get the standing in your family that, frankly, that you deserve. I'm just attempting a diplomacy to kind of raise him up.
That is another success. I don't remember for a second. Do you remember, did any of you play a game against him at the garden party? I don't think you did.
I don't believe I did. Do you remember what the game was?
There was a couple of games. You could have danced with him. I know no one did that. And there was a game against him that was basically lawn darts.
I didn't do anything.
We played I think we played lawn darts, but I don't think it was against him.
I
Yes,
think you
a
played
couple of us
against
did lawn darts.
Glorian, I believe. Yeah. And lost. I would have proposed making things interesting. If you had beaten me in that game, I probably would have agreed at this point. But, sadly, you didn't seem interested in me at the time. And so Libbiel will have the last chance to influence him. And I
Bring in
think
the closer.
I think she will just continue with her society attempts. More talking about the party, talking about how it shows his ability to organize and lead people, maybe talking a little bit about the aspect he brought up keeping morale up on the home front while people are at war or under siege, and how this shows he is still thinking about those kind of concepts even while he's away from home. And that is a success, but does not get him to another tier. You needed 12 to get the next tier, and you ended at 11 points. So he looks like Ustalav will only be signing Article 1 at this point. I will maybe take one final plea. You can choose which of you wants to make that. It's going to be at a higher DC, but I'll give you one chance to try to sway him a final time. You'll need to come up with something different than you've been using, though, in terms of just complimenting him or his place.
I feel like Libbiel should be the one to make that. I know they are not here tonight to do that, so if we want to switch it out, that's fine. My thought would be to go, what will we've been saying all the good things that will happen if he enters this. What will happen if the Whispering Tyrant wins, and what will happen to his nation then? So probably still in the diplomacy, maybe a little bit in the intimidation, but like just appealing to the notion that if we don't do this, bad things are going to happen. But what do others think?
I think it's a good track to take where we've been very complimentary. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Libbiel had the most connection with Clavance, and probably if there was someone who could make an argument at the end, I feel like it would have been her.
Yeah, I'm a bit limited in my both in like what skills I have to offer, also and just in my current imagination. I'm trying to come up with other ideas, and I'm personally drawing a blank. So I like this this concept is just taking the diplomacy and just flipping it on its head.
I will roll it if need be.
Well, I will let
Okay.
Libbiel roll it. I
Okay.
will still consider this a society check because you're more talking about what will the influence be on the nation.
Yeah, how things are going to break down.
And not treating it like an intimidate. I am making the DC higher than it is anyways, but society is easier than diplomacy, and society is Libbiel's best skill, or best applicable skill. So, final appeal. That's actually a critical success, even with making it harder. But again, 12 was the threshold. 14 is the maximum threshold. You're not going to get to the maximum, but you will get past 12. He has become friendly to you. He does see that you both understand the demands on a noble, but recognize that behind the facade, he is still intelligent and caring about the people. And you've shown deference to his concerns over how Ustalav, in some ways, maybe also like Nurmathos, might be more at threat than the other nations. They've been conquered before. They border the Gravelands on one side, so just like Nurmathos, they'd be fighting on two fronts at once, where all the other nations are only fighting the sea. So you've shown enough insight to prove to him that you are worthy of being paid attention to. He is not going to be willing to sign Article 2. That's still he is willing to sign Article 2 because that was now 25%. So he will do that one. He is not willing to sign the other two. No one played against him, and that's really what it takes to get Article 3. And he would never, ever do Article 4. He's not against it, but he is just unwilling to put Ustalav that forward on the Whispering Tyrant's radar. And there was some confusion last session that I'll clear up now about why Multhune is willing to sign Article 3, which was the mutual defense aspect, when they weren't willing to sign the non-aggression pact. So they're willing to sign 3, but not 1, which we were a little confused about last week. And what it is Article 3 is tightly scoped. It is mutual defense against the Whispering Tyrant. So it is not triggered by Multhun attacking Nirmathos. That would not bring all the other nations in against Multhun. So they can keep up their aggression against Nirmathos. They're not signatories to Article 1, and Article 3 would not cause a huge alliance piling in against him at once. So that is why that possibility there exists. Whoops. There we go. So yeah, the party wraps up. Do any of you stay longer at the party? Do any of you drink more of the wines, talk to the guests more, or are you heading back to your residence to sleep for the night?
I'm gonna head back if you guys want to, or stay here. It's I'm a bit tired. It's been a busy few days.
I feel like staying slightly later until more people start leaving. It might be the nice thing to do.
Yeah,
Dezi would.
Sorry, go ahead, Dezi.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I am going to stick around and wait. Be one of the final people to head out. Not overstay, but Clevance was right. We did sort of not pay much attention to him until the very end of these days of meeting with all the dignitaries and such. What's done is done. Clevance is willing to do what he's willing to do. I totally understand that, but I'm just going to stay and just try to chat with him. Maybe make some kind of, if there is the time, maybe we can get a game of Ustalavic lawn darts at midnight going, just for the sport of it. Nothing else on the line, just to let him know that we do see him. We were not intentionally ignoring him. That's all.
And I know Libbiel would head back to go to sleep immediately. I mean, you're only walking about 100 feet across the lawn here. It's not like it's a separating the party dangerous thing. So, but we know that's what Libbiel would do.
If Libbiel isn't asleep at this party by the end of the night, I would be very surprised.
From Daegron and Vanarel, at least, it sounds like you're still participating in a larger way at the
I'm
party.
Back. Dezi,
Oh,
Dezi.
okay. Okay. So Daegron's heading back. So yeah, Dezi and Vanarel, I would like a fortitude save from both of you for the effects of the maybe added glass of wine here and there and being up a little later at night.
Well, it is really, really good wine. I'm sure. Oh.
So Vanarel is fine. Dezi,
Dezi would like to feel lucky if that's a fail.
You just made it. So
okay.
you are not going to be sickened tomorrow as a result of the hangover. The DC is based on the number of glasses, starting at 2 and above. But you just made that. You're probably feeling a little lightheaded. There's probably at some point Vanarel probably notices that you've had a little bit more than you meant to have, and that might be what triggers the end of the evening for you all. In the morning, Dalamian meets you and says, "Today, at 10 at noon, we will meet back at the Temple of Callistria for all delegates to sign the treaties. I am very pleased with what I've been hearing. They all speak very glowingly of your efforts to find compromises and solve problems. We know some were still intractable, but that is to be expected. We are very disparate nations with different heritages around this lake. It is not to be expected that we could all come to full agreement. Dress your best for the ceremony, and by that, I mean as the adventurers and heroes you are. All the rest will also be there as a show of force and power rather than the grace that they've been progressing so far."
I think. Well, thank you, Lady Delamian. We will present ourselves as the group we are, as an adventuring party.
So once you have a chance to have some breakfast and get dressed, you're heading back over to the temple.
Desi's going to suggest we keep our eyes open. If there's any time for an interference, the signing of the treaty seems like the obvious time. So
It'll feel good to have my arms back on. It's been a few days.
Nice to not have all that material covering my arms.
Oh no, I'm still surprised Vanarel's dress clothes didn't have tearaway arms. Disposable, fine clothing with tearaway arms.
I feel like I would have angered so many elven tailors if I had even tried that.
So Dalamian stands up to address the group. Honorable delegates, over the past several days you have talked, bargained, and compromised, with the goal of finding common ground on which to face this dire threat. Although we act with haste, it is not without careful thought, for what we decide today will echo for years to come. I will ask each to rise in turn and declare what articles of the Encarthan Treaty your country will ratify. And they go one at a time around the table, starting with Druma. It's going to end with Keonan, end with the four of you. And there are no surprises. They all say exactly what they had agreed to. So Articles 1 to 4 from Druma, Articles 2 to 4 from Malthun, 1 to 4 from Nirmathos, 1 to 4 from Lastwall, 1 to 2 from Ustalav, 1 to 4 with Resmirin. And they all mention something about their bonds with the four of you as this was going on, and praising Keonan for finding such skilled negotiators to mediate, and in some ways as outsiders they could trust that while Keonan was the host, the four of you, you're not Keonan. You were still here representing more just the region, the people. You were not tied to any nation, and as a result, they all trusted you more for that. And as the four of you step up to be the final signatories on the treaty, of course, something happens.
even before you said we should show up in our normal uniforms, I'm like, yeah, this is the ideal time. Yeah.
This is the time.
In come a wave of assassin-looking people. You see numerous individuals dressed in black, trimmed in some silver with silver masks, and a leader kind of behind the rest of them in a bluish-green robe with gold trim and another silver mask, carrying a staff. The other ones all seem to have daggers or short swords. And the one in back is pointing a finger at the four of you and shrieking through clenched teeth, "By the wills of the living God, kill them all!" And we will be rolling initiative once I get this set up.
I'll do a recall knowledge on their leader with the initiative roll, but I'll roll
Sure.
that as well.
Yeah, I'm out of range of battle cry. So.
Okay, let me roll all of the initiatives here. There are a lot. And you can roll yours.
I suddenly can't remember his name, but I'm looking nervously at all the Resmirans that just jumped in and over to the Resmiran delegate back and forth, like,
And let me see, is there anyone in here I need to take out of the initiative? First, let's see, we can not mystify Glorian's name. What else looks unusual here? I think the rest... Okay, we don't need this person.
The Lemian getting a 2 seems strange.
Yeah, I'm just going to take her out of the initiative order. We'll roll Libbiel.
She's doing some narrative fighting in the background.
And for Resmiran followers, does religion work?
Possibly. When we get to your turn. Does this happen at initiative roll, or does it happen in
Happens
your
with
turn?
initiative roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can roll that.
Let's take the better.
Okay. So what in particular are you trying to learn with this?
Well, the leader seems like some sort of caster, and I'd like to know what sort of caster they might be, if anything, I guess. Or like who typically leads Rasmirans in a hit like this.
You would know that Rasmiran priests are almost always universally a spellcaster of some kind, which you can see here. Usually a sorcerer or a bard, some variety that can get access to healing spells without being divined. So you'd expect, primal or occult are both very common types of spellcasters within the Rasmiran clergy.
Got it.
And non-casters have a very hard time ascending past the first couple of steps of the ladder. They might still be devout followers, but they probably will never enter the actual clergy. And up first, we are going to have, let me hit begin here. The delegates are going to be doing stuff, not necessarily in initiative, but I do need to know where they are in the initiative. And Walder's going to start off by drawing a saber in one hand, a pistol in the other. That's 2 actions, and I guess standing up will be his 3rd action. Chaozo is going to stand up and move over this way and look a little panicked. Libbiel is next. Wonderful. What are we going to have Libbiel do? Let me take a look. I had not thought of looking at Libbiel's
Fireball?
actions.
If it wouldn't burn down the place, none of the delegates are in that area.
Oh, I didn't change her spell loadout. She has 12 castings of Hypnotize still ready.
Oh yeah, that would have been changed for today, presumably. Staff of Fire still works.
Staff of Fire still works. We will do a fireball. Yes. Okay, so that would be a normal rank 3 fireball, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, let me.
At least it makes it simpler for the first round.
Yes. Let's see. Is this? I don't see the staff prepared as spells here. Okay. So spell DC of 30 and 20-foot burst would be. There we go. Looks like that can hit every single one of them. So that will be the plan. Let me get them all selected. Oops, nope, not a second burst.
Let's not take out the other delegates just yet.
Not yet. Okay, and I have too many windows. Okay, and if someone wants to roll fireball damage for me, that would help me out. If you can, I believe it's 66. And so we have a fail, a fail, a fail, a save, a fail, a crit fail. How about the leader? Leader has a success. Okay, so we'll start with the leader, because that's the easiest one for me to identify separate. He takes half. We then have 1, 2, 3, 4 other successes. I'm just going to grab 4 at random. I'm not keeping track of exactly where they are on the list here. They take half. We have 1 that's going to take double. And then all the rest are taking full. So I believe... Oh, I missed one. You take full. So I believe all 13 of these should look injured, and we should be good. And then for her 3rd action, she will also just back up a little. Daegron.
Perfect. Daegron will pull his axe off his back. Oh, these negotiations were getting a little boring anyway. And he'll do a sudden charge, 50 feet in, and he'll swing at this guy right here. So he brings the next splitter up high on him. And is a 39 to hit.
That will crit.
For 36 points of damage. And then I will need a fort save, 24.
He fails, so he
Failures,
is slowed
he's
1.
Slowed 1. That's all 3.
Okay. Vanarel.
And Vanarel is going to also move forward, getting just 30 feet ahead. Just kind of looking over at the Rasmussen delegate. Not that I think I can read anything behind the mask or that I'm taking an action to specifically do that. I'm just going to target the first one that the first one that's in front of me here. So this particular mask of Rasmussen that has entered the room, I'm going to call him out as my hunted prey, and then I'm just going to hurl my light hammer at him just the one time.
And you said that was at the caster?
This first...
Oh, the first one. Okay, got it.
Yes, the one's kind of in a straight line from where I am.
Okay.
Just one single toss of the hammer. There we go. 23 doesn't sound successful.
That is going to miss.
Okay, it'll bounce off the wall behind him and come back to my hand. That's my 3.
Okay, up next is one of them. This one is going to pull off and start fighting Aromina. Glorian is up next, and he is going to draw a rapier, and he's going to maneuver back next to Vanarel, also keeping a wary eye on Alzarius, and you can tell he's looking for an opening to flank to help with you or Daegron, but doesn't see one at the moment. Up next is one of the ones in back. This one is going to come in and is going to attack Daegron with a rapier. (29) against AC is going to miss, and he will then step over to there. Another one of them is up next. This is the one that is right next to Daegron already, who is slowed. And he is going to step once into the flank and then try to hit Daegron. But that is going to miss. He is no longer slowed 1. But that was his whole turn. Another one of them is up next. This one's going to come charging in toward... let's bring him toward Clarence. And the two of them are trying to fight. Aromina looks around, notices that none of you seem to be in bad shape. She does not want to retreat next to General Walder, as things are likely to go astray if she ends up next to him, so she's going to back up to this corner and try to keep her back to a wall to avoid being flanked. We have the caster now, who is going to... Let's drop a howling blizzard in the middle of this place. Do the 3-action version? Yeah, he'll do the 3-action version. He doesn't need to move. I'll drop it there. So that will get Dezi, Vanarel, a couple of the delegates. We won't be rolling for the delegates. Just mechanically now, this is all difficult terrain now. I will remove the fireball.
I'm going to use a reaction to recognize spell, I think.
Sure.
Partially to know what tradition it is, to be honest. I have all of them trained, so I guess it would be good to know which one I should roll here.
Sure. I believe this is going to be primal. Or no, this is actually this is going to be arcane. It's arcane.
Okay. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure I have the feat. I haven't checked in a while.
But everyone else can give me the reflex save there. As a howling snowstorm is completely filling this location. Okay, well, looks like things are going well for the party. The Arcana check was a success. You do know this is Howling Blizzard.
Not a crit success, I'm
It
assuming?
was a crit success. It was a natural 20.
In that case, that's a 33 on my save rather than a 32.
That's a success for you, so you'll be taking half. Vanarel has a critical save. We did not get anyone else.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So Vanarel takes nothing, Dezi takes half of that, but everything inside that is difficult terrain now. And it does look like Alzarius took some damage from that, as did some of the other, as did Clavance and Dalamian and Glorian. Does look like this is starting to do some damage to the delegates. Up next is another one of the assassins. Which one? It's the one furthest back. He's going to... Oh, nope, he's not casting a fireball. He is going to move to the doorway, and he's going to shoot at Vanarel with a crossbow. And you see a glistening liquid on the tip. 34 against Vanarel. Looks like that is a hit.
Sure is.
And this is their upfront damage, just 3 points. But you also have, let me check what the poison effect is. We will need a fortitude save.
Right.
That's a critical success. You briefly feel afraid as the poison begins to course through you, as if something is out of your control and just disrupting all your ability to think before you fight off the poison. And he will then draw his weapon, drops his crossbow and draws a weapon, but that's his 3 actions. Alzarius is up next. He stands up, furious in anger, demanding that the assassins stop at once in the name of Razmir. And he is, even through the mask, you can tell he is like spitting fire, metaphorically, and just glaring at these all in a complete righteous rage. Clavance is going to... he pulls out an alchemist fire and throws it at the leader. Let's see, 5, 15. What's the range here? It's probably going to be a bad shot, but doesn't stop him. Yep, that's 1 range increment. That's actually going to be a critical miss. So Alchemist Fire splashes on the ground. It does not hit any of the surrounding people around there. And he kind of looks like, well, I tried. And that was 2 actions. His 3rd action is going to be to back away outside of the difficult terrain. Dezi.
Libbiel, Caster's Arcane. Maybe hit him with another big boom. And I'll draw my crossbow, take an action moving forward.
Remember, it's difficult terrain going through the snow. Okay.
I think I just get to there, which is fine. And I will take a single shot at actually the one to the north that seemed to be going after another one over there.
We're 1 hour in. I will award a hero point to Vanarel for the attempting to acrobatics your way up to impress Clavance earlier.
Well, if I don't impress him by the end of this, I don't know what will.
That is a critical. And can you ping the one you have targeted? I'm just having a hard time finding it on the map. Okay, all the way up there. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, they're the one that's going to be hardest to get to if they start doing bad things. Yeah, bleed damage seems fine.
And let's see. It needs to make a save.
You just made me take the damage, I think.
Oh, let me undo that.
Reload the crossbow backwards
Why
again.
is it? Oh, I know what's going on.
Oh, I undid it, I think. There you go.
Nope. I know what's going on. There we go. And then it needs to make a save for your to be pushed back, it sounds like. It will be pushed back 5 feet. And that was your 3, correct?
Yep.
Okay, up next, so we've done... This one is going to run for the general. He can get there without going... He took a little bit of a longer route, took him 3 actions. He does seem to know to give Daegron a lot of space. And then we have the one that Vanarel shot at. And, well, he doesn't want to go into that area of difficult terrain. So he's going to close on Daegron as well. And stabs at you with a rapier. A 34 against your AC.
Yep, that'll get through.
12 points. He does not have you flat-footed to him, so no sneak attack damage. But it was poisoned, so we do need a fort save from you. And
41.
you are totally fine. Another one is going to make his way around here, trying to pin in Aromina, and they're fighting. This one comes in, triple moves, gets up next to Clavance. This one is going to, let's see, how much is it going to take? That's 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, going the long way around Daegron, but does get into a flank on Daegron and will attack. But critically missing with a 20 against AC. We still have a couple more of the assassins to move. This one moves up to the door. Will also take a shot at Vanarel from here with the crossbow. Missing, reloading. They're at a range of about, let's see, what was the range? 40 feet away, standing in the door, blocking any ability to come in or out of this area now. There's 2 of them standing in the doorway. And the last one of round 1 is also going to move down toward Clavance. And Clavance is starting to look a little bloodied. Not in the 4th edition sense of the word bloodied, but you do see blood on his uniform and his fine clothes. And beginning of round 2, Walder is going to step away after stabbing at him once, is then going to aim the pistol at the one right here fighting Daegron and take a shot. With a solid hit there. Just missed being a crit, actually. But doing only a minimal amount of damage with that.
One off.
All of 4 points of damage to him.
Winged him.
Yep. Chalzo is going to mage hand over a moderate elixir of life to Dezi. You would still need to spend an action to drink it, but you can grab it as a reaction from her.
Oh, I don't need that. Thank you, though. Sure, I'll grab it for... I'll grab it. I have a free hand. Oh, well, I'm technically both hands with the crossbow, but I typically drop one, so... Fine. I'll have one crossbow in one hand and it in the other.
Okay. Libbiel is going next, and I guess we will just re-fireball that same area. Use another charge from the staff.
Daegron, are you okay with that?
Well, whatever.
I was going to avoid Daegron, but if Daegron wants to be included, we can hit more. So that is up to Daegron.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So if we do that about here, I think. That looks like a pretty good one. So we need a reflex saves from everyone inside that area.
That's not great, but we'll leave it.
I think that's a regular fail, not a crit fail.
That is a regular fail. It's DC 30. And thank you for rolling the damage for me. So that's 27 damage to Daegron. And let me see how we work through all of them. Starting with the leader first, because he's unique and easier to spot. Leader failed, so leader is taking full damage. Of the rest of them, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fails, 2 saves, 1 crit fail. So 1, 2, 3, 4 fails. And we have 1 crit fail and 1 save. And there we go. And what will she do after that? I'll have her move up closer to Chalzu. Daegron.
All right. As the fire explodes around him, as the one kind of recoils, he'll bring the axe in from the side and see if he can cut him down. The one directly to the south of him. That's going to be a
It's going to
crit.
be a crit. 43 against AC.
And we get to actually use axe crits. Look at that. So that's going to target the one to the right of him here.
Mm-hmm. So let's see.
3
Choose
damage,
one
right?
creature within reach. If it's lower, the result of the crit, you damage equal to the number of weapon dice you rolled, including extra for the striking rune. So it sounds like that's just 2 damage, right?
Equal to the result of the weapon damage die you
So
Ah,
3
roll.
damage.
So it just doesn't crit, I think. Yeah. That
Okay.
part doesn't crit or do anything special. So it does a little extra.
Okay, so 3 damage on this one. I will apply that.
And then, you know what? That one's looking juicy. He'll take his second swing at the one who just got cleaved into a little bit. For 39 to hit.
That's another crit.
For 34 points of damage.
And he now needs to make a
Cleave
save.
can't go anywhere.
He is also going to be slowed 1.
Then he will activate his dueling parry in the turn as he kind of gets ready to strike back at one of them.
Vanarel.
Difficult
All
terrain
right.
should be gone, right?
I think Howling Blizzard lasts like a minute from that. Let me double check
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay, it's not 1 round. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's here for a while, unfortunately.
Oh, no, until the start of your next turn, so it is gone. Okay. Yep.
Oh.
I thought it was a longer lasting one, but it's gone now.
All right.
Well,
that
is it
makes-
start of his turn?
Oh, yeah, he has not had a second turn yet, so it is still
He's
there.
Still like halfway down.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. You're right. Sorry.
Yep, so it is still difficult. I've deleted it, but actually I can replace it.
I think you control Z it.
I think it was about there.
Yep.
That's enough to make it a hassle for me to get to anybody and do something.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just gonna sort of, push past Glorian, doing that quicken battle, kind of like the not quite a shoulder bump, but just like this way. I'm gonna leave the guy I had targeted as hunt prey alone for now because Clevance is getting overrun here a little bit. So 10, 20, that's effectively 30 feet in this garbage
Yes.
snow. skirmish strike is not going to do any good for me here. So I'm going to use my second action to effectively stride just to there. And I will target this one here to the of the three, the one farthest south, one right next to Clevance. I do not have him as my hunted prey, so let me turn that off for a second. I can still flurry. It's just now my multiple attack penalty is now all normal. So I will do that, starting with the Warhammer and the Light Hammer, and we'll see if we can talk some sense into this gentleman.
You had a hit and a crit with that.
All right, well, that makes up for something. You can have 41 in the face.
Yep, and do you have any crit specs I need to be aware of? I don't see any.
The hammer, the
Not hunted
light.
prey.
Do you only get crit
No, yeah,
specs on
yeah.
your hunted prey? Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that was your turn. You did a nice solid hit. He looks like he's swaying on his feet a little from how much that hammer blow hit him, but he's staying focused on Clevance and you, and you might have got his attention now, but he is right here.
Good. I'm your
And-
enemy today. Over here.
And up next is which one? I think it's the one up in the corner, maybe? Yes. One in the corner chasing down Aramina. They are definitely involved in a little bit of a fight. We're going to mark her HP going down a little. We'll mark it like that. Glorian is going to... Oh, persistent damage on that one. So let me apply that. He applied it and he did not save, so he is still bleeding from, I believe that was Dezi's shot. Glorian, though, is going to try to strike... Yep, he can get to a flank. He gets to a flank here, and he will take one shot, or one strike at the guy he has flanked. He has a plus that. He's going to crit with a natural 20. So he does this plus a d8 extra for deadly. Wait, no, fatal. Never mind. I need to re-roll that completely. Let's do so 2 times 2d8 plus 6 plus 1d8. 22 points of damage. And he will remain there for the round to give you flank, but it looks like he might start retreating after that. He has taken some damage. We'll call that much. That was Glorian. Up next is one of the ones who is trying to find a way to flank Daegron, but his flanking partner's dead. He doesn't like that. I don't see a way for him to get it. He could ready a strike for if someone else gives him a flank. He is going... Ooh. Yeah, he's going to risk this. He is going to apply some poison to his blade that will manipulate.
Oh, okay. Well, here comes a hit.
That's a hit. It does not disrupt it, at least, so he has poisoned his blade.
21 points.
And then he readies the attack when he has a flank, gesturing to some of the ones hanging back to help him out in that way. Up next is the one that is flanked by Glorian and Vanarel, who does not like that. He is going to, I guess, lose the flank he had Glorian had set up for you, Vanarel. He strides to here and is going to attack you twice.
Can't Daegron take an AOO there?
Daegron's nowhere close to
Much
this.
farther away.
Oh, sorry, that's Vanarel. My bad.
I can't because
Just
that's
'cause
only
we're
against
both
my
green.
that's only against my hunted prey, which I don't have anything right now.
One miss and another miss. Aramina keeps fighting back for a bit, but
Come back this way.
she doesn't trust going anywhere close to Walder. I guess she can move a little bit this way, but she's not getting too far away from what's happening. The leader is up next, so now the Howling Blizzard goes away. And he's looking at Daegron, who's been knocking people down left and right and holding his own much more than he would have liked. And I think we are going to try to do something about you. You seem to be
I don't
the
like that.
problem here. Which of these do I like best? Yeah, he's going to. Let's see. He's gonna have to hit some of his own, but he's okay with that. He is gonna stride to there, not stride, step to there, and we're gonna send off a wave of despair at you.
All right. Nat 20. We ain't despairing here.
You aren't despairing, and his allies probably are.
Thank you, sir.
Well, a natural 1 and a natural 20 from the allies and a regular fail. So, let's see. The critical fail was the third one. So that is the one who's almost dead, at least. That makes sense. Slowed 1 for a minute. The critical success is unaffected. And the top one is...
They get a save, or with the crit fail, they don't get a resave, basically.
yeah, so this one gets a save every round. But the other one has no save. Yep, there we go. So that backfired badly on him. Okay. The badly injured one in the doorway who had not reloaded his crossbow. No, he was the one who dropped and dragged the new one. So he is going to stride in. He can do this avoiding your AOO, and he will stab at you. And that will also trigger the other one's ready to action, which we'll do first.
Okay.
Which will miss. And then the one whose turn it is will miss.
And he grabs his arm as he reaches in and brings the axe around with his dueling boss.
Okay.
For a 35.
Do you have enough reactions? Because I know you took one already. Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 reactions. One of them can only be used on a reactive strike. I have 1.
Okay. That is a critical hit.
For a 34 points.
And once again, some splash damage over to the other one, which is the weapon dice, which was 4 this time, it looks like.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that was its turn. He died on his own turn. Alzarius is up next, and he still is sputtering in rage over there. Nothing happens. Clavance has already done his little thing. He's going to keep trying to back up. He has seen that they're willing to target Alzarius in the attacks, so he doesn't think hiding behind him is safer than anywhere else, so he's going to just keep coming further around the room. Dezi.
So Dezi really wanted them to get in position, so they go down. I've got Breath of Life, but they are too far. So I think we are going to say, thanks for the potion, but I'm okay. I'm going to try to help some other people. I'll drop the potion, free action, delicately. I will reload my crossbow, putting another hand on it. Stride to there. That seems fine. And I will target the badly one injured with a single shot. Or the one badly injured up here in the corner.
And you will miss with a 24.
I'm going to use my guiding lock. She's looking bad. I don't want her going down.
.28 makes it into a hit.
That's fine. Doing my best here.
Okay.
That was my full turn.
Up next, we have the one who is chasing Walder around. Moves up. Gets a hit on him. And that's that one's turn. We now have the one who's near death here, but right next to Daegron. And still has his flank, so he's going to go for Daegron. And this is the one who managed... No, this is not the one who repoisoned his blade, so this one just has a regular attack. He has seen Daegron do lots of nasty things and is not willing to risk that again. So he is not going to try to repoison. With a 35, though, against AC, I think that just hits even with your dueling parry. And he does get his sneak attack, I believe, unless you have anything that denies sneak attack damage. And he will try, and he is slowed. He's only
slowed 2 because I slowed him 1 from my axe.
Those shouldn't stack.
From the
those should not
get
stack.
A critical fail.
He got a critical fail, but that just means he never loses that. So doesn't stack. Though. He just still has 1 action left. He will try a second swing, and he will get a natural 20, which ended up being a miss, so it became a hit. And this needs an extra 2d6 on it for the sneak attack. So 3 more. That was his turn. One of the ones keeps chasing Aramina. He is looking very bad off. Let's see, which one's turn is it now? I need to zoom out. The one down here, flanking Vanarel, has flank. It's going to go for its strike, poison strike. So strike against Vanarel, a natural 20 or a crit. Luckily, this wasn't the poisoned one. 34 points of damage. He applies the poison to his weapon and then tries a second strike on you. He's now wishing he had applied it first. He does get a second hit thanks to the flank.
Yes, enough. Yep.
And there is the damage, and we need another save, which is right here. Fortitude save. You are fine. That was its whole turn. One of the slowed ones, this is the one that does get a save at the end of the turn to see if it can wear it off. It is flanking Vanarel. He's just going to stab twice. Stab 1.
Flanking Daegron.
Sorry, Daegron, yes. Critically miss on that first one. Do you have a reaction to spare?
Nope. I've used my 2, I believe, already.
I thought so. I just wanted to... Don't know how many you have. And misses on the second one. It now gets a will save. He's still going to be slowed. That's not going to change for him. This is the one that's in the doorway. He did a poison shoot last turn, so he's going to do a poison shoot. A reload poison shoot this turn. And he's going to target Dezi. He's seen a lot of... he's seen Dezi shooting other people. Maybe this is going to be an easier target for him. .25 against AC is going to miss. Another one here is going to move up next to Daegron. Doesn't see a way to get a flank, so it's not going to delay or wait, and just going to take 2 shots. First one is pre-poisoned, the second one is not. But that misses, and tries his second attack. And an even worse shot. 15 against AC is nowhere close to hitting you. We're in the middle of a combat in the Temple of Callistria against 13 assassins coming in, shouting praise for Razmir and attacking all the delegates. The Razmiran delegate himself has been sputtering in rage and telling them all to stand down. They have been ignoring that. They've been including him in some AoEs, and it seems like there might be something going on here. Most of the delegates are holding their own. However, Aramina up in the extreme north is definitely taking the brunt of the damage on the delegates at this moment. And it was beginning of round 3, and 3 more of the assassins you can see running into the room. Do I have them? I'll need to add new ones on. Let me roll these 3 into initiative.
Daegron, cut off the head.
Yeah. A spell suggestion for Libbiel. He likes casting haste on Daegron.
True. Okay, I can maybe
Pretty
do that.
range.
As I said,
Yeah,
I just didn't
that's fair.
have Libbiel's spells prepared by default after the complete swap over to everything else.
Right.
Yeah. No, 100%. I've literally thought that as soon as I'm like, oh, I remember the spell list I was shown last week.
So Walder is going to continue to back up. He's doing some damage to this one. And he is taking some damage as he does this. Chalzo, I guess, will pick back up the potion she had telekinetic hand and is going to send it over to Aramina instead. Aramina will be able to consume it on her turn to get some back. I'll just do that now so I don't forget. And Libbiel will cast, let's see, range for haste. I think she might need to move forward
30.
towards you a little bit. She is currently at range 55, so 5, 10. So she needs to move forward a fair bit. I think needs one more. And we will cast haste on you. I don't have the spell effect, but you know that you're quickened 1 to stride or strike. Up next is one of the new ones who just rolled into the initiative. I'm going to say he had to spend 1 action to get to where he is, and then 1 action coming in to block access to the caster to Daegron, and is going to stab at you once with a poisoned rapier. And is going to critically miss, but you've not had a chance to replenish yet. Now you do. It is your turn, Daegron.
Okay, he is going to shoulder past through the gap and go all up against the wall here to try to deny them any other sort of flank on him as he turns his axe towards this one. So that's 1 action stride. You know what? I haven't had a chance to use it in a while, and I think it's going to be useful against this guy. Let's do a slam down. He brings the axe high down onto him. Attack. Ooh, 4.
28 will miss.
Yeah, and I don't have anything to re-roll it. So all he can do is he's going to swing at him again here. At his map.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to eat up the 2 actions. So a 30 to hit.
I'm double checking because it does advance the map twice, right?
Let me double check.
Slam down.
It does.
Yes, it does.
So I think that changes that to a miss. Yep. Okay. So another one of the newer ones to arrive. Oh no, it's not. This is the one who is standing right by here. He's going to once again, I think he's going to have to double move to come all the way up around the table and then back down to get here without provoking from you. So he did go up and around the table to avoid your reaction, Daegron. Only gets 1 strike as a result of that. Oh, I don't have you targeted. 30 against AC?
Nope, I'm at a 30.
Okay.
31 with flank.
So he just missed. Vanarel.
All right. Well, I've got my pick of people to choose from down here. I'm going to start with the one that's sort of in between myself and the Rasmiran delegate. This one here to the northeast of me. I don't have anyone hunted as my prey until now. I'll select him as that, and I am going to flurry on him. Sort of here. Let's see if a couple of hammers will change your mind.
That is a crit and a miss.
All right. Well, we'll take the...
You kill him before
42.
any of the crit specialization effects.
That is A-okay. Next, that is, hunting prey. Flurry for the second action. Well, I don't have a hunted prey anymore, so now I'll do it again. This one here to the southeast is now my new friend.
Okay. So that's a new hunt prey. No actions left to strike.
Right.
Okay. The one to the north, who is continuing to chase Aramina around, is going to do some more damage to her. Glorian. Oh, and that one then takes some persistent damage and stops bleeding. Glorian is going to... He's looking nervous for Aramina. I think he's going to charge across the battlefield.
I got it, Glorian. Just. Oh, fine.
He's being a hero.
Okay, that was a triple move for him. The badly injured one here, who had been attacking Daegron, is going to try to come over here and pin Daegron in against this wall. Right there, I meant. Trying to stab you. With a 36 against AC. Is going to hit, but does not have you flat-footed or does not have his weapon poisoned, so just a small amount of damage there. He tries a second swing. He hasn't learned not to try against you as much as he should. That's going to be a miss with a 26 against your AC. We pass 2. Aramina is up. Aramina is going to try to... Let's see. She's getting a little panicked and is going to try to run through the middle of the room to get away from both Walder and the rest of the assassins. And then it is the caster. What to do, what to do. I know what he wants to do. But you have a reaction. So I don't think he's going to risk that approach. That's not high enough rank to be useful. This is a good idea. Yeah, he's going to step back, and he's going to try a laughing fit on Daegron. Got to get rid of those reactions from you. Okay, that's a success. So as long as he sustains this, you do not have reactions. That was his whole turn. Alzarius. Alzarius is done yelling at people and is going to start doing something. And looks like the closest one that he can do something with would probably be the one south of Vanarel. He points a finger out, and you see a beam of cold water, icy spray heading toward that one, who needs to make a reflex save. Critical success. Oh well.
Oh, jeez.
Let me just make sure that was the correct. Yeah, that looks correct. Okay. Yep, so no effect. Clavance has already done his thing, so he's just trying to stay out of the way. Dezi.
I'll use an action to cast a sorry. Where is it? Sorry, I've got a lot of spells. I'm scrolling through them and I swear it's here somewhere. There it is. A life boost on
Aramina? Okay.
yeah, Aramina. So she'll be gaining well, the spell effect is there if you want to throw it on her.
I probably won't because she has
okay.
abstract HP, so it would heal too much.
Fair enough. It's going to heal her over time.
Yeah.
And then I will use my last 2 actions to huck. I grab one of the scrolls on the table and telekinetically project it at the agent just in front of me.
So you're attacking them with copies of the treaty?
Oh, not the original, just some of the extras, the decoration.
Okay.
Sorry, wrong spell.
That's going to hit. 32 against AC.
So is this considered diplomacy because you're hitting him with a treaty?
Diplomacy!
You have defeated that one with a scroll to the head. This one keeps chasing Walder. Walder takes a little bit more damage. Walder does a little bit of damage back to him. This one now starts attacking up in the corner, the ones that Glorian has intercepted. Fighting Glorian. Glorian is taking some damage, and the enemy is taking some damage. Another one of the new ones who's just arrived in the back of the room is going to come piling in, taking the flank on Daegron that's now offered as a result of the leader backstepping. Stabbing forward, missing with a 22 against AC, and trying one more. And missing horribly, but you have no reactions. Up next is the one that someone has targeted. Which one is that? It's a few too many.
I have that one targeted.
Yes, you do. It is. Okay, that's the one down here. He's going to stride around you to get in the flank and attack you.
Oh, well, he is my hunted prey, so I'll try and disrupt that while he's moving along. Only rolling a 2 for a total of a 22. All right.
Yeah. They hadn't seen you using that, so they had forgotten that you can do it on certain conditions.
I wonder where they learned that in the first place. Ow! I'm stabbed.
You are stabbed. And this does have the sneak attack on it. It is not poisoned, though. 21 points. And it does have a second option, so it will try. Stabbing you another time while you're distracted from the pain from the first hit, but missing. This is the one. This one can come up next to Dezi, it looks like, and just let's try to stab Dezi with the rapier twice. Or only once, right? Yeah, this is a slowed one. But it misses. It tries to shake off its slow, because this one could get rid of it, and does not. The one who's just been reloading and shooting will do the same thing again. Reload, apply poison, and shoot Dezi. Let's see if it has been better luck than he did last time. $29 against AC. Looks like that is going to be a hit.
Yep.
For 6 points of damage. And we will need a fortitude save.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely halfling luck
Yep,
with a
that was a
natural,
natural
1
1.
territory.
Okay, so halfling luck.
Make sure I've not used that today, correct?
You might have.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I used guiding luck
Yes.
on the
Okay.
last
I
one.
forgot that you have two versions
I
of
forgot
this.
to take that down. Yeah.
And that will save against the poison. This is the other one that has Vanarel flanked down below. He's now seen you take reactions. He doesn't exactly know why you weren't before. He's not going to try to apply poison, though. He's just going to try to stab. He doesn't know how you work.
I'm in their head now.
It's a 26 for a miss. A 15 for a critical miss. He's seeming a little frantic right now. And a 19 for a critical miss. This is not going the way they were told it would go.
Feeling a little unsure of yourself all of a sudden?
Right.
Because he just wants to be the shining beacon in the middle of the room here.
And we are beginning of round 4 with Walder. I've been doing the damage on the opponent's turn, so he's just going to back up. Chalzo is out of gifts to give people. Libbiel. Libbiel, I think I'm going to go with a live wire at this point on the closest enemy. I know she probably has better spells, but I'm sorry. I can't deal with figuring that out in
That's
combat.
fine.
So... that will be a critical hit. For 14 points of piercing, of slashing and electricity, so we actually double that, so 28. And that does a good amount of damage to the one closing in. And she will then back up as well. One of the newer ones who arrived last round, I think never actually got to go. I think he arrived right after something happened. He'll stride into the room. He thinks Daegron's contained. He's going to triple move to get up here and flank Dezi. Daegron.
Okay, he's going to shoulder through the group again to get out of the flank and force them to move. He's going to get next to the caster, and he's going to enter his dueling fairy stance here, just so that's on. I have 2 more actions, and we're going to go for a snagging strike on him. Okay.
That will hit.
16 points damage. He'll be off guard now.
Okay.
And the nice little macro does that itself, and then we will go in for the second strike.
That will miss.
Ooh, not too great. 26.
Okay. The one who had come in to give the initial flank is has to double move to get back to a flank on you. And is going to try to stab you once. Running around the room, trying to keep you pinned in. 28 against AC is not going to do it. Vanarel.
All right, this guy here who learned my secret of taking reactions is going to be next on the strike with a hammer list. Warhammer and light hammer. Let's see if we can make sure that my secret is never revealed.
That's
only coming away with
that's 2 hits.
one?
Oh,
Oh,
wait,
2 hits, okay.
Wait, why do I see... Oh, yes. No, sorry, only 1 hit. 1 hit for 14 damage.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, it's the damage roll. All right.
And it was this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. If he is still there, then I am going to try to crack him again. Like this with the second swing of the Warhammer. 27.
That will hit.
Here, get a little burnt up with some acid too. Have 20 more.
He's
All right,
still
and
standing.
then one Well, hopefully not for long, but yeah, one last one coming back around with the light hammer. Left, right, left, right. I don't think 23.
That will
Yeah.
miss.
Okay.
One of the ones up in the top of the arena, busy fighting Glorian. Glorian takes some more damage. The one he's fighting takes some damage. Glorian is now looking a little bit worse for wear. He's going to start trying to retreat as well now that Aramina's gotten out of the place. And he kind of tries to make a back-to-back stand with Walder here. One of the ones who's playing with Daegron is up next and is going to close in on you here. And he's going to ready a strike if someone gives him a flank. Aramina is going to keep retreating. The caster spends one action sustaining the laughing fit and then reaches out to touch you with a glowing green and purple hand. I believe, yes. I will need a fortitude save from you.
All right. That's 20 for 42.
Oh, okay.
His spells, he's having trouble.
He's having trouble. That was his whole turn, though, because he sustained the spell and tried to get some temp HP and hurt you. It did not work. Alzarius, at this point, is... That's the only spell he uses? No, he does it twice since you were friends with him. So, yeah, he will try a second spell against the... Let's see how the reflex save goes. That's a regular success this time, so he's going to do some damage. So 8 points of cold damage to the one that was attacking Vanarel. And then he's going to try to also get his back to a wall. Clarence is already as safe as he can be. Dezi.
Everyone keeps moving just out of my 30-foot range. That's fine. They're all fine.
What are you talking about? I made sure to get in
You're
your 30-foot
fine,
range.
yeah, actually. I will use my last focus point to cast another life boost, this time on Daegron. You can grab that. And since diplomacy seems to work well, I'm going to diplomatize the one that's to the upper right of me here. And by that, I mean huck a scroll at it.
Diplomacy, so hard.
I'm sorry. I'm going to yeet a scroll at it. I believe that's the correct terminology these
Right.
days. Here we go.
Death
If it's done magically.
by paper cuts. Or I guess you're calling it bludgeoning. So these are like the scroll cases, not the scrolls themselves. That is a hit.
That's a good damage roll.
We're still up, though. That was all my actions.
Yep. Okay. The one who's labeled asleep. So the one that's after Libbiel's heart. I guess we'll charge Libbiel. That's 2 actions to get there and 1 action to stab at Libbiel. That will hit Libbiel for 15 points of damage. Up next is the one who has been left with no one to fight when Glorian ran off. So I think they're going to head down maybe to Libbiel as well. 5, 15, 20, 25. Double moves to there and 1 stab at Dezi. I mean, not Libbiel, Dezi. Natural 20.
Oh, yeah, you got me.
For 26 points of damage. The next one is Daegron had just moved away from, and this one had readied the attack if he gets a flank, so he's going to move to the flank. And he knows you don't have reactions right now. He knows the boss is doing that. So first we'll do the readied action from the north one flanking Daegron, which misses. And we'll then do 2 attacks from the one who just moved into position. Just misses with the 30 against your 31, it looks like, with the flat-footed.
Yep.
And a natural 20 for a regular hit, because that was only a 30.
Those feel good.
No, wait, that's a 32. That should be against your flat-footed AC, though, so that should be a hit, which should become a crit.
I don't know why it's not flat-footing.
I am assuming... Does it think you have some sort of thing that avoids sneak attack?
I don't believe I should.
Yeah, I don't think fighters get that. That's a barbarian or a rogue thing usually. 54 points of damage there.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt.
And up next is... Let me close some of these. The one who is highly damaged from Alzarius and being hunted by Vanarel. And he's seen you do AOOs on movement, correct? Is what he's seen you do, Vanarel?
That was what got him. All right, I attempted to swing at him, yes.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to go charge Alzarius, but he knows that you can hit him. So he's going to stay here and swing at you. A little inspired by seeing the splash of blood come from Daegron up across the room. And a 30 will hit with the flat-footed AC.
Off guard helped him.
For 16 points. Tries a second one. Misses. And he looks like he wants to make you attack his buddy. So he's going to step away and hope that you leave him alone. Not that you probably will. Up next is the one that Dezi hit with a scroll case to the forehead. He is still slowed, but he does have flanking on Dezi. So he is going to go for the attack. One attack with a 32 against AC is going to hit. And again, this should have flat-footed. I don't know why it doesn't. So here's the flat-footed extra damage. 4 more points. So it's a total of 17 points to Dezi. And it will then try a second one and miss, and then tries to get rid of its slowed. And it does get rid of its slowed. It stops sobbing in despair as it attacks you. And it's looking a little askance back at its leader, wondering why he was targeted with that. This one, who had been doing a crossbow sequence, is going to drop the crossbow, draw the rapier, step in, and strike at Daegron once. And with a 30 against AC, I don't know why... It's
well, you're not getting flanked.
Yeah, no, and yeah, that one is correct. So that one was good. We have the barely injured one, who seems a little mad that his flanking buddy left him alone here when attacking Vanarel. He is going to attack twice. A 31 against AC, which would have hit if his buddy had stayed there.
Almost.
A 26, which will not. And then he kind of smirks at his buddy and takes a 5-foot step back as well. Round 5. Walder is looking... let's see, Walder is not under attack right now. He will come back to here. Nothing else happens. Chalzo retreats back. Libbiel is going to...
Can you get rid of the flank on me?
Okay, yep. Libbiel will try a live wire on that one. 5, 15, yep, that's within range.
And she uses life boost also. She could drop on Dezi for a third.
Sounds like
That's
a good
true,
idea.
too.
Yep. That will hit. 29 against AC for 17 points of slashing and electricity does finish off the one that was hurting you, or was flanking you, and then a life boost, you can drag that onto yourself. And it's the one who is near Dezi is going to step up into the flank on Dezi now, new flank, and is going to stab at you twice. That's a miss, 24 against AC, followed by a critical hit. Natural 20. For 42 points of damage.
Looking pretty bad.
Daegron, you are up.
All
You got
right.
12 points of healing from Life Boost, which has already been applied.
So, seeing as we're in bad shape right now, I think he's going to look at the most injured one around him, above him, take a swing with his snagging strike,
And crit him.
48 points of damage.
And that does
Have the
do...
overflow to the caster, right?
Yeah, I'm checking.
Yep,
It does
I'll
12
leave it
points
into
of...
the cast.
12 points to this caster, I believe, this
Yep.
time. Am I doing that ability correctly?
Yes, it's just the weapon damage from the die. and
Yes.
That's it. Nothing,
Yep.
No other die and no bonuses.
Yep, you had a high roll that time, so that went well.
Okay.
And it does need to make a fort save against being slowed from the Frost Rune. And he does save on that.
Okay, and you know what? Let's go for the second swing and see if we can finish him off before we fall back. Yep.
That's
that'll
another
do it.
crit. So roll the weapon damage dice. We know how much to apply to the caster. Because
Yep,
I know
so
the guy
that
will
is-
be dead.
Yep, so that's going to be 7
7.
points.
Yep. Okay.
And then let's see. I've got 25. He's going to move all the way back here with Dezi, and he's going to put his dueling parry back up to try to last a little bit longer. That'll be all 4. Yep.
Okay, give me 1 second. You hear the sound of 3 more approaching.
You gotta be kidding me.
Vanarel, Daegron, just go after their leader. You got him.
I can't. I will die.
It is now this one's turn, who was not the one that just... yeah, so he's going to move in to the flank on Vanarel, because he knows you do not have reactions, and is going to stab twice with a miss and a miss. Vanarel.
Okay. Well, these guys gave me some breathing room, which I think is very nice. So I'll just smirk at the one that stepped away from me, thinking he had some kind of master plan going, and then I'm going to skirmish strike on the guy I had hunted in the first place.
Daegron, I have
So-
vital up, just so you know.
Yep.
It's a step followed by a strike, hopefully, on that guy. Yeah, coming away with a
That's a miss. And a
28.
hit. Sorry, that's a hit.
yeah, just a skirmish strike, just one single
it.
hit.
That will finish him.
Second action, I will then turn back to the guy who gave me all that extra breathing room, and I just kind of like wave him on over. Second action, setting him up as my new hunted prey, and then for the third, I'll just throw my light hammer at him and bounce it off his head, just to make sure he knows who to come for.
That is a hit. 34 against AC. For 12 points of damage.
Love more.
It looks a little rattled, but not horribly off.
That's my 3.
Someone at the top of the room who's been left alone is going to come moving over and fight Glorian a bit over here. Glorian takes some damage. The opponent takes some damage. Glorian does a fighting retreat to keep making a wall with Walder. We have one of the ones who is off the map coming in. 2 actions to get here. Gonna move into the room and just keep making a barrier at the door. Aramina has nothing to do. The caster is up next. 1 action sustaining the spell on Daegron. And then we have 1 more high-level spell. Or, what's the range on that? He's going to move into the room. Down to here. And with only 1 action left, he is going to put a shield on himself for the round. He had to get positioned for things. Zarius, nothing. Or Clarence, nothing. Another one who is far off the map. Moves in, takes up a space by the door. Dezi.
Oh, complaining about all this healing stuff. I am going to 3 action heal.
Okay. You don't have a selective type thing, right?
Nope.
I'm moving some of the dead ones out of the way so I can tell what's happening more easily.
Doesn't look bad to me.
Yep. Okay. Roll your damage. Or your healing.
Oh, am I just in the edge of that? Oh.
Sorry, it's trying to tell me I'm doing 48, and I don't know why. I didn't select 3 actions. There we go.
Ooh, that roll. Juicy.
Okay. I healed.
Enemies
the
can get
enemies.
it back too, but most of them are out, and also most of our allies are in. So
Yep,
I'm okay.
I'm adding manually to the ally since I have to abstract it.
Can you get him now, Daegron?
Anyone else inside? I think that got everyone. Okay. The one who is asleep, who is chasing our sleeping witch, is over there, going to attack her a couple times. That is going to hit Libbiel with a 34 for 11 points. Tries a second one for misses. And I think it will just keep trying. It sees no reason not to.
Did Libbiel get healed?
Yes. I think. Oh, let me double check that. Did I not apply it? I did not apply it to Libbiel. I handled all the NPCs.
They should probably be 11 points down, basically. So heal them to full and just take 11, I think. Unless they're a ton.
Whoops, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay. So that was that one's turn. We are up to the one that is flanking Daegron. Or flanking Dezi. I think he wants to go for Dezi. He just saw you heal everyone, and that's undoing all of his hard
Be
work.
happy with that. He
was
healed.
one of the ones. Yeah, he was one of the ones that got healed.
But it's still undoing all of his hard work, and he doesn't approve of that.
That is true.
31 against AC will hit.
Looks like he's not that conflicted.
Or 15 damage. Tries a second one. Misses, and we'll try a third. And misses yet again. One of the ones blocking the door is going to one action sheathe the rapier Second action, draw the crossbow. Third action, load the crossbow. Let's see, where is this one? This is the last one who's new to arrive. Comes running in, 3 actions. Another one by the door. This one had switched to the rapier before. He actually dropped his crossbow outside. So he is going to step back, pick up the crossbow, drop the rapier, load the crossbow. The one that Vanarel threw his hammer at. He's gonna... Oh, you have hunted him. He knows how your thing works now.
I
5,
just motioned him over.
10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 15, 20, 25, and he's going to attack Alzarius some.
We're not going to confuse you with the other guy.
Vanarel, can you get the caster too? Let's get him out.
Beginning of round 6, Walder will finish retreating back to the rest of the delegates. Chalzo's fine. Libbiel. Okay. What can I have Libbiel do that's maybe a touch more useful than what I've been doing?
You have any
She has
fireballs
something-
left? There's a big
she has
I mean,
something
a
else
life-
to light
life-
this up here.
Yeah, she does have at least one more fireball in that staff, so we will send
and
a
a
fire.
life boost on Vanarel would help. You could probably
Sure.
do both.
Okay, so life boost.
Yeah, you can hit the caster and that group.
So life boost on Vanarel, and yet another fireball. We think that could be... I'll move it a little bit once I get it on the map. That looks pretty
Am I
good.
deleting my shape? I never remember how to do this.
Yep, I can get it for you.
If you shift 1 to the left, that drops 1 out and puts the close one, right? Is that how that...
Yes, that would do it that way. Okay, that's what you like. I will roll all of their saves now. What was that?
I said we can hurt 1 closer to Dezi. That's more of an immediate threat, I guess.
So let's get their reflex saves going. Here we go.
We're going to have to clean up a lot of burnt wood after all this.
That is very true. Let's see. The boss failed. So I'll start with the boss. Boss takes full damage. Whoops. I did that wrong. Does undo all of them? Undo does... Why did he just move? That's weird.
No.
Okay, so undo is not is undoing the most recent move I did, not the damage I applied. I have to undo them all manually. There we go. Okay, so boss takes full. There we go. Next up, we have... What's the pattern? The closest one is taking half. We'll do that one. After that one, we have a fail, a crit fail, a success. No, a fail, a crit fail, a fail. So we have fail, crit fail, fail. And then we have fail, crit fail, fail. I'm having one too many. Do the fail, and we'll do the crit fail, and I don't know who the last one was. But that should be close enough to right. And now it's up to one of the ones who is not fireballed, who is still flanking Dezi, and will go for the hits on Dezi. With a 23 to hit, which is a miss, followed by a 26, which is another miss. And a 22, which is a miss. And we're up to Daegron. And I'll get rid of that fireball.
Good.
If you wanna
He's
touch
gonna
me before
reach
you go
back
in, feel
towards
free.
Dezi and shuffle his hair around and get the holy beacon healing. And what is that? I'll let you handle it.
It did not do the right thing when I clicked on it. So it's
I
14-10.
get more
I'm
than
just going to roll.
Yep. All right, so 21 healing to him, and then he's going to take off towards the caster here. You know what? Let's go right here. Block a little bit of his way out. And as we get close, we're going to go for the swing and do a snagging strike on him.
That
There
is
we
a
go.
critical hit.
For 36 points of damage, and we get a fortitude save from him.
Yep, rolling that right now. He is going to critically succeed.
Does he succeed, and he brings the axe around from the other side with the momentum on it for a 32 to hit.
Which will also
Get
hit.
a little bit of forceful damage for 19 points.
I think
And you
that's
know
your
what?
4 actions, right?
Touch, move, attack. Yep, that's everything. Hopefully we can set him up for Vanarel to take him down.
So up next is the one who had been flanking Daegron, whose Daegron's now run away from. Dezi is
Kara
flanked.
murdering his leader?
It can't get a flank on Dezi. Could get a flank on Libbiel. But another one's already moving toward that spot. Well, that one stopped short on Clavance. I think he'll move to the flank on Daegron. And we'll try to stab you twice. That 20 that became a 2 at the last second. Critical miss and a regular miss. Vanarel. 12 points of healing.
I do get the 12 points of healing, and yeah, a new plan has presented itself. I'm going to move over to here. I'm going to target this spellcaster leader type as my new hunted prey. And I'm going to flurry on the back of his head until the mask breaks on the front. Because this is... I'm done with this. Hopefully, only managing to... You know what? I'm going to use a hero point on that one that missed.
Okay.
Where is this here? There we go. I got one of those earlier. Hopefully that'll change it around.
That is 2 hits now. I guess it already
Okay.
rolled the first. It rolled the first one's damage, so I'm going to apply that one anyways.
Okay, and now I'll go back up and roll the...
Yep. Which won't matter because
Other-
he is
Might
dead
matter,
either way.
yeah.
But
Dead.
Better be safe than sorry there.
yep,
Okay. And for
I think that was all
my-
3, right? Because that was hunt, prey, move, flurry.
Oh, it was. You're right. Yep.
Okay. Up next is the one who's chasing after Glorian. Glorian takes some damage. Opponent takes some damage. Glorian is up. He's fine where he is, so he'll take some more damage. Enemy will take some more damage. One of the ones helping block the door. And this was the one who spent all last turn getting the crossbow ready, so I think he's going to shoot at Daegron because he's not going to switch back weapons again. He misses with a 31 against AC. They thought maybe they had you on the ropes and were trying to just pick you all off with their crossbows, and it looks like the tides have changed again in the moment here. He will then, after shooting, he will then drop and draw and probably stride in toward Dezi. And at this point, let's see. That's a dead one. That's a dead one. Aramina, I'm checking when your Laughing Fit's going to fall off. It's not quite yet.
He has to sustain it.
Yes. No, it's on his
Yeah.
turn. He can't sustain, so
Yeah.
that's when it will end. I'm just checking where his turn was.
Just after.
Yep. So Aramina has nothing much to do. He goes. No more Laughing Fit. Alzarius is fighting. Doing some damage. You see more rays of frost and such things streaking out from him. Clavance in the corner. one of the ones who did get a crossbow ready as well. He does not have a clear shot on anyone, though. He's going to have to move. He's going to move up a little bit north to get a clear shot on Dezi. There we go. That's going to crit Dezi. Natural 20. For 10 points of damage, but it was poisoned.
You're saying I need a fortitude save.
I'm saying you need a fortitude save.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see the button.
That's still a success. And he will then reload. Dezi.
Yeah, there's a lot of people right around me. I just don't want to be in the middle of all these folk. So let's come over here. Daegron looks okay. They're the only one that's kind of out of range. And I like hucking scrolls at people. So more scrolls, this time at the one that's right next to me. The spells work better if they're standing next to you.
Left by the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, Dalamian definitely looks...
Fine, I'll grab a pen.
I mean...
and do some piercing damage instead of bludgeoning.
Dalamian is actually the most sad about all the blood that's been spattered over the real copy of it, because Daegron was fighting right here and getting hit, splashing blood all over the table. So the treaties here are soaked in blood at this point. Dezi does hit. For a good amount of damage, but it's left that one still standing.
Oh, well.
That was your whole turn. The sleepy one attacks our sleepy one. It will hit with a 36 against AC. Doing 11 points to Libbiel. Follows it up with a miss. And a crit, which is actually a crit. It was exactly a hit, so it became a crit with the natural 20. Doing 29 more points to Libbiel, who is looking pretty beat up now. And up next is one of the ones that had been attacking Dezi, and Dezi left behind. It will double move to the flank and keep on attacking Dezi. For a 32 against AC for a hit, doing 24 more points of damage. Now we have one of the ones who had also switched to the crossbow. Going to step back to get a better aim at Daegron and shoots. But glances all the way off of Daegron's armor there. This one had moved in, had got crossbow ready, and it sees the fight's it's still winnable, they think. They see a number of you on the ropes, even if they're also in bad shape. He's going to take a shot at Libbiel. A 32 against AC is going to hit for a small amount of damage, but this one was poisoned. And we'll need to have Libbiel give me a roll once I get this there. And Libbiel is fine. He then spends an action reloading and repoisoning. This one in the door, who's been fireballed a lot, but no direct damage. And I think that means also going to be shooting at Libbiel. All those fireballs have really hurt.
Daegron, Vanarel, can you get over here?
Yeah, the front line has shifted.
Miss, reload, repoison. And the one who's been attacking Alzarius does some more damage to him. Alzarius takes some damage to the enemy. Top of the order. Gonna skip the two NPCs at the... Oh, I guess they're in combat, so I don't skip them. Walder takes some damage. Walder does some damage. Libbiel. Let's see. I think Libbiel is out of charges now on the staff.
Stick near me. Maybe get rid of the
yeah.
one to my north. I can heal you.
I think it's gonna. What's her speed? Her speed is 25 or 30. Her speed is 40. She's gonna come all the way behind those two, and will try to kill that one with a live wire. .36 will crit with live wire. Destroys that one. Okay, what does this one want to do? He's gonna come down and fight Alzarius some more. Daegron, you're up.
Okay, seeing that Dezi's in trouble and Libbiel's not doing too great back there. Now that the spellcaster's down, Vanarel to the back, and he'll do a sudden charge. Counting it out, I have exactly enough to get there with 50 without any double diagonals. And he's going to, when he gets to the end of it, do a swing at the assassin right here.
That will crit.
42. And it's 46 points of damage.
And he'll make his
Save.
fortitude save against being slowed. He makes it.
Okay, and then we will swing on the second time here with our map.
That will hit again. 27 against AC.
Get a little forceful bonus here. And that'll be 18.
And I think you still have an action left, right? Because you were hasted still.
I do. Yep, I was still hasted. You know what? Let's get, now that I got reactions back again and we're in here, let's get Dueling Fairy back up. See if we can bait in some attacks.
Okay. This one is going to try to intercept Vanarel by moving in the way to stop Vanarel from rejoining the group. And will ready an attack if it gets a flank on you. Vanarel, you're up next, though. that might negate his plan.
It could, yeah. I am going to. I guess I have to go around him now. Oh, right. So, let's see, how do you drop waypoints? X? It is, right. Yeah, I'm going to go around him now. I'm going to kind of follow suit right behind Daegron. That's one move there. For a second, this guy I have found myself next to, I'm just going to trip him and put him on his face. Just kind of try to slow him down while I'm on my way through. So I'll target him and we'll do a trip thing. See if I can just knock him over.
That is a critical success. So that one is prone.
Oh.
Roll your 1d6 of damage from him hitting the ground really hard.
Oh, nose first. Bonk.
That seems to have been the wrong one.
I think that was the right one.
This one?
Yeah, that was
the
that one.
north. Oh, sorry. I missaw something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And then, well, now that he's on his face, I'm just going to keep moving over here. I think... I'm going to move the token. You tell me if this is viable to go from this square to here.
I'm going to say no. I've been having them have to go pretty hard around the corners of the tables, and he's blocking that one now.
Okay. If I can't do that just by squeaking around, I will have to do that with a cool rolling flip through. I'm going to attempt to tumble through.
Okay.
Let's see. Is that a macro also? It is. So let me make sure I have him all targeted like. Here we go. I'm going to attempt to Oh, I don't think
You
it's
will
gonna
be
work.
you will be stopped adjacent to him.
Yeah.
I think that's your 3 then, right?
Uh,
Stride, trip, stride.
Yeah, that is my 3. I was trying to get on the other side and be fancy. All right.
Okay. Glorian does some fighting on your behalf. He's looking pretty beat up though, and the one he is fighting is looking pretty beat up as well. They actually both look like they're getting worse at doing damage to each other. They're getting tired, it looks like. The one you knocked prone is going to stand up. And is going to move to the flank on you and stab you once, Vanarel.
Okay.
You left yourself in a perfect position. Played right into his trick. But a 25 is not going to hit you, I believe.
Nope.
Aramina has nothing to do. Alzarius has nothing to do. Actually, Alzarius is fighting. Never mind. Alzarius does have something to do. Alzarius takes some damage. Alzarius does some damage. And he's going to move away a little bit. He's not doing too hot.
Come this way, Elzir. Oh.
He can't. This was not a movable square as he's pinned in there, so...
Fair.
Clarence, one of the other ones. Let's see, this one had been moved to get the clear shot on Dezi. And it reloaded but not repoisoned. And I believe, let me double check, yeah, he is out of poison. So he is going to shoot Dezi. .26 against AC is going to miss. He will then draw the rapier. Dezi.
Yeah, let's 3-action heal. I feel like I can heal the enemy. This is okay. Battle of attrition, we win.
Okay,
Not with that roll.
let me apply that to Libbiel.
15 healing to everybody.
Oh, that didn't apply. Try it again. And then, let's see. That was a poor
Us and
roll.
our allies.
Only getting 1 abstract point back from that. And then the enemy, it looks like you have 3 possible enemies who might get some back from this. Okay. That was your turn. The one who had been fighting Libbiel, but Libbiel ran away, is... Let's see.
3 in the back, too, I assume.
What?
Our allies.
I already healed them some.
Gotcha.
They just got a very small heal because that was a very low roll. Well, this one now has a flank with Vanarel, so not going to switch back to Libbiel, but going to attack Vanarel there. Stabby stab with the rapier 3 times. That's a hit with a 33 against AC for 16 damage.
Do you believe this was my plan against you?
Followed by a 31 to hit again.
Ow. It's all falling into place.
For 14 more points. And then a third attack, which is going to miss. I think he likes your plan right now. The one who is still up to the face of everyone does not like being flanked by Daegron. Is going to step away and stab Libbiel stab Dezi to teach Dezi to stop healing him.
That feels like mixed messages.
And we'll crit with a natural 20.
Oh, my.
Oh,
It's only the
jeez.
4th time that's happened in this combat to me.
32 points. And a follow-up second swing. And we'll miss by 1 with a 28 against AC. Up next, one of the ones who had been guarding the door. That one had drawn the rapier last round. It has to double move to get next to someone. So it's going to move up next to Vanarel. It's going to stab Vanarel once. And miss. Oh, let me also remove the channel from the board. There we go. This is another one who has to switch back weapons. So it's going to drop the crossbow, draw the rapier. it doesn't want to move itself into a flank with between Vanarel and Daegron to take advantage of their own flank, so he'll double move to there. He has no attacks available. Trying to swarm Vanarel while they still can. This is the injured one who has still been using the crossbow, and he's hurt enough. He's not going to switch it up. He's just going to shoot at Vanarel. No longer poisoned, though. He's out of poison. So shoot, reload, shoot will be the routine. Shoot, reload, and miss. This one kind of wants to keep chasing after Elzarius. Yeah, he's going to keep chasing after Elzarius. Takes some damage in return. Does some damage in return. That's his whole turn. Top of round 8. Walder. I guess he's feeling a little braver. He's going to step forward, take some damage, do some damage. Paizo stays back. Libbiel. Libbiel will... I think she doesn't have any more life boost. We will just live wire the close one. What was that?
She usually runs Force Barrage, too. I don't know if that's her height, though.
Yeah.
That's... As I said, I'm looking really at the cantrips because the first and second ranks are the only ones that are not hypnotized right now. And we haven't re-prepared the usual castings, so... Live wire. Attack... She's crit twice with this today. That's a regular hit. For 18 points of damage. And shield on self. Let's see. This one's going to go after Dalamian. Daegron.
Okay, we will stride up and see if we can clear this one out from harassing Dezi here. Even with a 2 on the die, we get a hit for 20 points of damage.
That one is dead. You have 2 actions remaining still with your haste.
Yep, he's going to move onto the other side of Vanarel and then swing at the one that they have flanked. For a 38.
That will crit.
And we will cleave upwards. Oop, I didn't mean to take that down. For 11 points of slashing.
11 points of slashing. Got it. Thank you.
We'll still need that fort save on the
Sure thing. They've been rolling well there as that one succeeds.
Okay, and that'll be all 4.
And you hear more footsteps running in. But this time they sound a little different. And you see some of the green gold guards arriving here. Let's see if I have some pictures of them. We have Commander arriving, along with... Let me get all the pictures up, then I'll describe them for the listening audience. So the commander, a elf in gleaming silver and gold, carrying what looks like probably a scimitar. It's probably meant to be an elven curve blade, but it's one-handed version of one. Very, very kind of more ceremonial armor, leading a couple of less ornate, dressed in plate and cloth, silver and green armor. And they look a little beat up. It looks like they may have been fighting more people in the streets before arriving here. But they arrive, and we can narrate the rest of this combat. We'll start because Daegron just went. So Vanarel, what would mop up for you look like here?
Mop up for me. Well, there's one in between myself and Daegron. First of all, that would be the first one I'd try to target and take down with hunting the prey, twin takedown, and wallop that guy.
Okay.
Then I would. It didn't work out last time, but I would want to try and get past this guy to my southwest, to get closer to both Delamian and Nazarian, just because they're getting assaulted, and I just kind of called out to it's like get back to Dezi, fall back.
Okay. How about, let's see, we'll skip who else is next. Dezi, what does wrap up for you look like here?
Desi would kind of reposition towards the center of the room and then basically start firing off a whole bunch of telekinetic projectiles and regular crossbow bolts, depending on what makes the most sense. They're a little worried about Alzarius down there, and they moved 65 feet away, which is just out of Breath of Life, so want to get a little closer for them.
Okay. And Daegron, if we come all the way back to you, if we assume the guards are coming in, pushing back, starting to try to capture some of the assassins, they do seem to be ignoring Alzarius and the one fighting him, and kind of looks like there might be a hope that they both get killed and before they get to them. What are you doing, Daegron?
He would bull rush as they kind of get distracted as the guards come in, and Vanarel kind of starts laying into them around. He'll bull rush past, try to cut the one down that he goes through to try to pin the one that's attacking Alzarius to the ground, and maybe hold him for questioning in case they can't get anyone else.
Okay. We are out of combat now. Let me get some narration for you all. The guards are pouring in, more and more guards behind. You do see the one that you've captured. Very quickly, you see blood pour out of his ears and mouth. It does seem like in all the ones the guards have as well, they seem like they have some sort of conditioning magical implant that has caused them all to self-destruct. You do not have any living captives. Some of the delegates look even more shocked at that than they were at the attack itself. Everyone is very quickly turning and yelling at Alzarius, blaming him for setting them up, for ambushing them all here, proving that Razmir cannot be trusted. Is there anything you all would say in the midst of this?
Alzarius was fighting on our side. I genuinely think he was trying to prevent this. I don't think he is at fault for what happened here today.
Dalamian is holding the blood-soaked copy of the treaty in her hands, weeping, looking around the room.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, Libby, don't you have prestidigitation? Can you clean that up?
Don't think that can necessarily get rid of the blood stains. It can clean up the blood that's still
come
on it. But
okay.
Hey,
listen. This alliance is forged in blood. We're gonna have to go after this Whispering Tyrant.
Dalamian seems a little shell-shocked still. She does nod to the commander of the guard, who looks like he is going to escort Alzarius and his aides, who are not involved in the fight but were here, at least to the jail temporarily. And Alzarius is strongly proclaiming his innocence and non-involvement in this, but is not protesting. He seems to understand how bad this looks and does not think in the moment any words will work. The rest of the delegates are stewing and steaming. They seem upset that they have signed the treaty at the moment, but it has been signed and it's not easily broken at this moment. But you can tell it hangs by a thread at this point. Other
Libby,
guards?
you want to give one of those rousing speeches or something?
You have one you want to give?
It was a good one.
Oh, I said Libby.
I think Libbiel's fallen asleep at this point.
Yeah, after the fight was
Not
over.
again.
other town guards arrive along with some of the hangers-ons of the various factions, and they all escort their people back to their homes for the day.
Before I'll try a diplomacy to try to improve morale and get people more behind this. I am going to take a read the air here to try to just figure out exactly how people are feeling.
Sure.
And then I'll try basically a diplomacy check here.
Don't worry about that sound of the closing doors. I was just stopping the screaming.
Good ambiance.
I'm reasonably happy.
Yeah, you can tell that there is extreme distrust of Razmir. Definitely not trusting Alzarius's protestations of non-involvement in this.
Sorry, that was a diplomacy. This is the society to
got it.
Figure out. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, society's the same way. You can tell that everyone's nervous. Everyone thought they were safe here. They were surprised they were attacked. You can tell there's probably some surprise that Razmir was attacking and not Whispering Tyrant. This seems... they're all muttering now that maybe this non-aggression pact they heard of that was even more established, and maybe they have a stronger alliance than they'd been led to believe. And they're all talking. Of course, Aramina and Walder are not talking. They're staying far apart, and there are cliques forming. You can see that Glorian, after fighting side by side with Walder for a while, seem to be getting along better than you would have thought they were before, given that it seemed like Walder was getting on Glorian's nerves for being so militant about Nirmathos, but it seems like maybe this fight has helped them get along a little better. Clarence and Chalzo and Aramina, having all kind of been huddled in the back together, they seem to have also maybe forged a couple more ties. You hear maybe some talk about some extra aid that Ustalav might be sending toward Nirmathos as a result of this, if they can work out how to get the aid between their two countries, given that they're separated by the Gravelands. They do seem to wonder how can they keep this treaty going. It seems like at least that cluster of three wants it to keep going, but they don't understand how that's going to be possible if with the Razmiran interference and the problems here. So that's kind of what you're left with.
Yeah. And the diplomacy role was to kind of try to rally people a little more behind the treaty. And, we've all fought together now. We've stood together. I know tensions are high, but we can do this type thing.
Yeah, you feel in the moment it's not getting through to them, but you think when they've calmed down, your words might have had some effect. But right now, in the middle of the shock of being attacked in what's supposed to be a safe Elven location, in the temple to a Elven god, and just having that many, it was 19 Razmiran infiltrators come in and attack them, has shook everyone. And so you all would return to your home here, and you will level up.
Ooh.
Level 12, everyone.
Now I don't need to reload anymore, I think.
If you have ideas and you want to share what's happening in the level up, we can do that right now. If not, we'll also probably do a little bit of that discussion at the start of next week. Are there things that you're excited about that you want to share with the audience here?
Dezi was continually...
Next time.
Oh yeah, we can save it for next time. That's fine.
Okay.
That way everyone...
But I think as they kind of get back, Daegron will kind of turn to all the other three and just kind of say, "What the hell was that? Different factions in Razmir, or he seemed genuine the entire time we spoke with him."
I believe him. Politics. I'm assuming it's a different faction. He did seem to earnestly fight against them, and I thought he was being honest with us. He really did open up to us. So I guess there's a fair question of how much of an actual backing he has in Razmir.
True.
Any thoughts from Vanarel?
I certainly believe him despite all this. I mean, he was one of the ones looking the most ragged in this fight. They were targeting him just as much as they were any one of us. And look, I don't know a lot about the Razmiran faith, but he did remove his mask and looked at us, with his actual expression. I feel like that's not deception. That feels like a big deal for them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
I think we need to find out who these other Razmiran people represent.
After we've bandaged up and taken care of our wounds, I think
I
we'll
think-
have to go speak with Elzarius.
Yeah, he did seem to recognize them, which doesn't mean he's allies with them, but yes, speaking with him certainly seems like a good idea.
And that is where we will leave things for this week. Next week, the party will be level 12, and will begin seeking out the truth of what happened here. Thank you all for tuning in.